All-NBA forward Anthony Davis has informed the New Orleans Pelicans that he won't sign a contract extension and he wants to be traded.
Adrian Wojnarowski reporting the agent for Anthony Davis has informed the New Orleans Pelicans that he has no intention of signing an extension and, as a matter of fact, has requested a trade.
Why do you want to be traded, Anthony?
I feel like it's my time.
What if this never happened? What if AD never requested a trade from New Orleans? And what if he signed that max extension that offseason? And how would it affect the scope of the NBA? And what would be different in the NBA today and the NBA going forward? Let's find out. Okay, so now that I kind of got my bases down for NBA 2K22 and what type of content I want to do, I kind of started this year doing my team. Hold on, I'm gonna address it. I'm fresh out the shower, so pardon me for the wet hair and the hair that's not usual. But anyway, now that I got my content figured out for NBA 2K22 and what I want to do, I figured out I don't want to do my team content, and that I really loved my league. I love simulations. I love doing everything basketball related on this channel. So I'm going to be sticking to my league content for the foreseeable future. Who knows if I'll feel different when 2K23 comes out, whenever that is. But for now, at least, I'm going to stick to the 2K22 basis. And for this video, we have the league set in the 2018-2019 season, aka the season before Anthony Davis was drafted. Now, if you pay attention to the current NBA, you know that Anthony Davis is having kind of a down year. So that gives me the idea for this video, because he's having a down year. So in my head, I'm like, what would happen if AD never got traded to the Lakers? Obviously, they won a championship in 2020, so the trade was worth. But how different would the NBA be today if he never was traded? Now, I did get most of the contracts pretty similar to what they were in 2019. This was before Giannis's Supermax, so he still has 2 years left, which would be, so this is the 2019 season, and then he re-signed the offseason of 2020 with 1 year left on his deal. So he has 2 years left on his deal. This is Chris Middleton's last year on his deal. This is the offseason that, the 2019 offseason was the offseason Brogdon left for the Pacers. This was the offseason that they get Eric Bledsoe a bag. So I have most of the contracts fixed. There's Jimmy Butler on the Sixers, who I believe this was the last season he was in Philly, was the 2019 season. Got the Bulls with Wendell Carter, Larry Markin, and Bobby Portis. The Cavs with Jordan Clarkson and Colin Sexton and Kevin Love. The Celtics with Kyrie on the last year of his deal. This is the season that he said, I intend to sign here this season, and they lost to the Bucks in the second round, and then he left. Jason Tatum before he gets his big max extension, and then Jaylen Brown before he gets his big max extension. We got Gordon Hayward on the team. Scary Terry, Al Horford, pretty solid team. I forgot to increase Al Horford's overall because the original roster, I'm not going to include the sound in the actual video, but there's a Polo G song on this soundtrack that I didn't know was on this soundtrack. Oh, that makes me so happy. Okay, back to the video. Al Horford, I need to increase his attributes to the 2019 Al Horford. And this roster was really weird, so I had to do a bunch of tweaking to it. They had everyone with their current form, so I had to take 2 years off of everyone's age. He had the teams right, but I had to take 2 years off everyone's age. I had to adjust some contracts. Like, they had all the contracts current day, which some still are current day contracts. Or they had, when they put Kyrie on this team, they had him on a 1 year, like $1.62 million deal, so I had to fix that. They had Shai Gilgeous at his current form, which obviously he was on the Clippers in 2019, and nobody knew he would be what he is today. So we had to knock his overall down a little bit and fix his contract. Jaren Jackson, you had to fix his contract. And fix his attributes, because they had him at current day Jaren Jackson, and instead of young Jaren Jackson, they had Dwayne Wade at an 88 overall, which he wasn't an 88 overall in his final season, which this was his final season. Dwayne Wade was in the league, and they have him on a vets minimum. And they had Kemba Walker at current day Kemba Walker instead of the all-star Kemba Walker from 2019. They had Donovan Mitchell making his max contract, which I had to fix that. There's a lot of things I had to fix on this roster. They had B.I. and Lonzo Ball at their current form, which no one knew they would be that to this day. That's why they get traded to the Pelicans. I had to knock them down and fix their contract. What else was there? There was Dirk Nowitzki at 89 overall. Had to fix that. Had to fix his contract. Had to fix Luka's contract. Had to fix D'Angelo Russell's overall. If he say like 200 racks, the price keep going up. This is I just thought of it. The song on the soundtrack, it's a Polo G song that I really love, is Blackhearted. I just thought of it. Anyway, I had to fix Anthony Davis' contract, because the basis of this video was, what if Anthony Davis, instead of requesting a trade, he signed a max extension, which he signed the max extension, as you can tell, 5 years. He's on the Pelicans for 5 years. We upgraded Jrue Holiday's overall and made him younger. We knocked down Julius Randle and Christian Wood, because they had him at current day, Julius Randle and Christian Wood. We had to upgrade Drummond and Blake Griffin and fix their contracts. Kawhi Leonard's on the Raptors. We had to upgrade Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam. The Houston Rockets, Chris Paul, James Harden, Clint Capella. DeMar DeRozan's back in San Antonio. This is pre-Chris Paul Phoenix, so they have DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker still. Russell Westbrook still in OKC. They had him at current day Russell Westbrook, aka an 85 overall, or 83 overall, so we had to improve him up to an 88. Minnesota was pretty good. The Blazers and Warriors were good. We have to note John Wall was actually around there. We had to fix his contract and Beal's contract. So we did a lot of fixing. I'm going to fix Al Horford real quick, and then I will make sure I'm controlling the Pelicans, and then we will get right into the simulation, because I don't know how long this is going to take or how many seasons I want to do. So we're just kind of winging this. I've done careers. This one's not even really a career sim. It's just like a what if, and I looked into YouTube search, and nobody's done this video yet. So I'm trying to be the first one to it. And we upgraded Al Horford to an 81 overall. We're going to have to fix his contract real quick. I'm not exactly sure what he was making. I know he got a bag from Boston. I'm not sure how long the contract was, but I know it was a pretty penny. I'm pretty sure it was in the margin of like $25 million. We're going to give him $25 million over 2 years, because I believe, no, actually, this was his last season. This was his last season in Boston before he left for Philly. So we're going to leave that there, and then Al Horford is going to stay on the Celtics with a $25 million contract and an 81 overall. All right, so I'm about to start simming the first season. We have everything for automation on, so we have no control of the Pelicans. We're just going to simulate for them. I'm going to simulate the first season, like every video. We got the kombucha. I got coffee too this time, just because I'm a little tired today. I'm rocking the Blake Griffin's Clippers jersey. It's a little big on me, but I got it from a thrift store in Louisville, Kentucky for like $30. So I was like, fuck it. It's a size big, but it's a retro Blake Griffin Clippers jersey, so who really cares? But yeah, I'm going to jump right into the sim. I'm going to look at the coach game plan. This is the roster the Pelicans were rocking with back in 2019. Anthony Davis, Julius Randle, Jrue Holiday, Christian Wood. Even though Christian Wood was nowhere near what he is today, their roster was pretty terrible. So I'm interested to see how good they'll be with Anthony Davis and Jrue Holiday. Let's start simming. All right, so just like in 2019, LeBron and Giannis are the all-star captains. Anthony Davis is an all-star. He is the only all-star on his team, though, just like he was in 2019. So everything is following just like it did in real life. LeBron and Giannis being the all-star captains, and AD being the only all-star on the Pelicans. Okay, so just like 2019, Giannis wins most valuable player, and auto-generated guy wins rookie of the year, because obviously I could have made Luka a rookie, but Luka won it in real life. This guy wins it here. Sixth man of the year in real life, it went to Lou Will. And in this simulation, it goes to Thad Young. Defensive player of the year goes to Giannis. In real life, went to Rudy Gobert when he went back-to-back with this was his first of his back-to-back with defensive player of the years. No, it might have been his second. I think it was his second. Most improved player in real life went to Pascal Siakam. It goes to an auto-generated guy in 2K. Ime Udoka wins coach of the year in real life, went to Mike Budenholzer with the Bucks, and then executive of the year in real life went to John Horst with the Milwaukee Bucks. But we don't have executives in 2K from real life, so that one's kind of a dud. But the MVP is just like it was in 2019. It goes to Giannis. The All-NBA teams are a ton different. In real life, the All-NBA first team in 2019 was Giannis, Paul George, Jokic, James Harden, and Steph Curry. In this simulation, there's literally just Giannis and Jokic. And then All-NBA second team in real life was KD, Kawhi, JoJo, Damian, and Kyrie. In the sim, it's Trae Young, Russ, KD, Anthony Davis, and Andre Drummond. Third team, you see it right here. All defensive teams. I want to see how good the all defensive teams. I'm going to do this for the whole first season, just because I want to be pretty close to seeing what is what and how similar it is for the first season. After the first season, I probably won't. But the all defensive team in 2019 was Rudy Gobert, Paul George, Giannis, Marcus Smart, Eric Bledsoe. All they got right was Paul George and Giannis. All defensive second team in real life was Jrue Holiday, Klay Thompson, Joel Embiid, Draymond Green, and Kawhi Leonard. And in this image, Jrue Holiday, Chris Dunn, LeBron, John Isaac, and Rudy Gobert. And Jrue Holiday's injured. I made it a point to leave injuries on because I I want to leave injuries on because in real life, Anthony Davis is very injury prone. So I wanted to keep that variable in there. And Jrue Holiday, I guess he has a 2 to 4 week injury. We're a play-in team. Obviously, in 2019, the play-in didn't exist, but it does now. So I'm going to simulate the play-in, and the Pelicans are eliminated in the play-in tournament. In real life, the Pelicans were the 13th seed in the West, and in the sim, we are the 9th seed at 40-42. The record in real life was 33-49. So if we were in 2019, we wouldn't have made the playoffs because there's no play-in in 2019, but we made the play-in. So we're kind of in that gray area of mediocrity. Now I'm going to sim to see if they keep, or how realistic it'll be for the champions. Okay, there almost was a Bucks Celtics matchup in the second round, and the Raptors win it. They don't beat the Warriors, they beat the Thunder with Russ and Paul George. But the Raptors win it just like they did in real life. And you see at the bottom, OKC and Portland played in the first round just like they did in real life. But OKC made it out this time. On the other side of the bracket, the Bucks almost played the Celtics in the second round, but they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and lost to the Raptors just like they did in real life. But this time, Kyle Lowry wins Finals MVP instead of Kawhi Leonard. So this offseason has a ton of stuff riding on it, and we have the draft lottery, which is going to be really important because I imported the 2019 draft class, which I believe is the Zion and Ja Morant draft class, which since the Pelicans traded with the Lakers, the Pelicans got the #1 pick and drafted Zion Williamson, which is going to be a lot different because the AD trade never happened, and we were the 9th seed. So I'm going to simulate the NBA draft just to see who goes where, and then we will go to free agency because there's a lot of free agency moves this offseason. Okay, we got the NBA draft, the first pick, the Detroit Pistons. There's Zion and Ja. I'm trying to remember who else was in this draft class. I know Zion and Ja off the top of my head are the 2 big picks. Zion goes to Motor City. I don't know how they're going to make it work with Blake Griffin and Drummond, but Zion goes to Motor City. The second pick goes to Dallas. Are they going to take Ja? They take Ja. Now they have a core. I should have checked if Dirk and Wade retired. Well, Ja goes to play with Luka regardless, but he could also be playing with Dirk. Brandon Clark goes to OKC, who are the Western Conference finalists. And then Daniel Gafford goes to the Spurs. I didn't know Daniel Gafford was in this draft class. Eric Pascal goes to the Knicks. The Rockets get PJ Washington. That's a pretty good pick for the Rockets right now. Their core is Chris Paul, James Harden, and Clint Capella. They add PJ Washington to the fold. That is a pretty good pickup. Miami Heat pick up Kobe White, which this is pre-Jimmy Butler, and probably won't get Jimmy Butler, so they add Kobe White to a core with Bam Adebayo and possibly D Wade unless he retired. The Hornets, who have Kemba Walker on the books still, Kemba might be a free agent, but they trade their pick to the Kings. The Kings move up and take an auto-generated guy. Okay, the last pick I'm going to cover, the Grizzlies trade their pick to Minnesota for Wiggins. So Minnesota give up Wiggins, and they take RJ. I forgot about RJ. So Minnesota now have a core of RJ and Cat. I love that. The Kings with their second first-round pick of they get DeAndre Hunter. I'm going to end it there, and then I'm going to just look at the draft summary. So the draft summary, Goga Bitadze goes to the Cavs, Rui Hachimura to the T-Wolves. So they have a core of Rui Hachimura, Cat, and RJ. And then the Pelicans get Jackson Hayes just like they did in real life. Kevin Porter Jr. to the Magic. Cam Johnson to the Nuggets. Darius Garland goes to the Bulls. Cam Reddish to the Hawks just like he did in real life. Jarrett Culver to the Bulls. Sekou to the Wizards. Oh, I forgot about Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero goes to the Wizards to play alongside Jaren Jackson. Nas Little to the Rockets. Matisse Thybulle to the Pacers. Nikhil to the Grizzlies. Who else? We got Claxton to the Bucks. Bol to the Warriors. I think that's all of the players that they have that aren't auto-generated in this draft class. So we got free agency. I'm going to look at rosters pre-free agency. Pascal Siakam's still there. Clint Capella's a free agent. There's a lot of free agents. DeAndre Ayton's on his rookie deal extension. Paul George is a free agent. This was the offseason. He went to the Clippers. I believe Kawhi's also a free agent because this was the offseason. He went to the Clippers. So this is a big free agency. KD, this was the offseason. He went to the Nets. This was the offseason. Jimmy went to the Heat. This was the offseason. Kyrie went to the Nets. Zach LaVine re-signed his extension. Paul George went to the Clippers with Kawhi. Chris Middleton re-signed. Clint Capella, I don't remember if he got traded to the Hawks or if he signed with the Hawks, but I think he might have re-signed with the Rockets. I'm not sure. D'Lo, this offseason, he got traded to the Warriors. I believe, no, that was next season. But he's on the Nets, so we're going to figure out what he does with the Nets. DeAndre Ayton's, he's still on the Suns, obviously. This offseason, the Bucks refused to pay Brogdon, so Brogdon went to Indiana. This is a big offseason. Huge offseason. Dirk is a free agent. I don't remember if Wade retired. Can I look at player retirements? I can. D Wade and Dirk did not retire, but Udonis Haslem, JJ Redick, and okay, Wade did retire. Okay. Dirk keeps it pushing though. So I have everything automated for this offseason. I'm gonna skip ahead a few more weeks in free agency just so a lot of these big players can get off of the board. Just so then we can kind of cover who goes where. I just saw Dante DiVincenzo get signed to the Pelicans, so that's a W, at least for us. Signed players, KD goes to the Heat. Instead of Jimmy Butler, they get KD. Kawhi goes to Indiana. Kyrie, in this alternate universe, re-signs with the Celtics. Jimmy Butler goes and makes a big three with the Spider in the Eiffel Tower in Utah. Zach LaVine goes to the Bucks. That means Chris Middleton left Milwaukee. Paul George re-signs in OKC instead of going to LA. There's no Clippers duo. The Clippers are going to be in poverty again. Capella goes to the Grizzlies. Chris Middleton goes to the Heat. The Heat have a core of Chris Middleton, Jimmy Butler, and Bam. D'Angelo Russell also goes to the Bucks. So they have Zach LaVine, D'Lo, and Giannis. And this is before D'Lo got washed up in Minnesota. So D'Lo, this is All-Star D'Lo, because he was an All-Star in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. He goes to Milwaukee. DeAndre Ayton re-signs with the Suns. Vooch re-signs with the Magic. Brogdon goes to the Pacers, just like he did in real life, and they gave him a bag. Porzingis goes to Atlanta. Jonas Valanciunas to the Mavs. Colin Sexton re-signs with the Cavs. TJ Warren goes to the Cavs. Julius Randle leaves AD for the Kings, and Dirk leaves the Mavs and goes to the Kings. Jared Allen re-signs with the Nets. Mikal Bridges stays in Phoenix. Nurkic to the Bulls. Bogdanovic ends up in Atlanta, just like he did in real life. Not in this offseason, but the next offseason. DiVincenzo, obviously, to the Pelicans, like I said, which I think is a W. I think that's a W. Okay, so we're going to load in the 2020 draft class, which is the Lamello Ball draft class. It is a historic draft class, which is dope. 2020 draft class in the league. I want to look at teams around the league because the purpose of this video is to see how the league changes if Anthony Davis doesn't leave the Lakers. And I feel like the league has changed so much already, and I feel like there's a lot of things that happen in real life that also happen in the Sims. So obviously Anthony Davis continues to improve. He's 27 years old. Now we are going to be in the 2019-2020 season. Christian Wood stays in New Orleans, and he's slowly progressing. We get Hamidou Diallo. We get Bojan Bogdanovic, Frank Jackson, Patty Mills, young Jackson Hayes. Could Jackson Hayes start at the 5? Probably not, because they're going to start C. Wood, but that's out of my control. Now I want to look around the league. I'm going to start with the Sixers because they're at this top of the little thing. They lose Jimmy Butler. Their team looks pretty similar as it does to real life. Obviously, there's a few differences like Josh Hart, TJ McConnell, Dario Saric, Aaron Baines, JaVale McGee, but they still have the core of Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris, Shake Milton. There is Furkan Korkmaz and Georges Niang. The Bucks, they're interesting. Giannis, Zach LaVine, D'Lo. This is a 25-year-old Giannis. This is the season Giannis lost in the bubble to the Miami Heat, which could happen again because the Heat are fucking crazy. The Bulls, their best player is Yusuf Nurkic, so they further descend into poverty. The Cavs, Colin Sexton, TJ Warren, Jordan Clarkson. Decent young core, not great. I mean, decent young top player because these guys are borderline 30 years old. This is interesting, though. Kyrie resigns in Boston like he said he did. He didn't tell Boston he was going to resign, and then he left. He actually resigned. Tatum and Jaylen Brown are free agents this offseason. That's going to be interesting to see. The Clippers, they hold on to Shea. Shea's progressing into what we know he can be. And instead of him going to Oklahoma City in the trade for Paul George, he stays in LA. And he teams up with Marvin Bagley. The Grizzlies get Clint Capella. They get Mike Conley. I know they hold on to Mike Conley. Jaren Jackson progresses to an 88 overall. They draft Tyler Hero. They give Isaiah Thomas a job. They trade for Wiggins on draft night for the with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Bogdanovic ends up in Atlanta just like he did in real life, even though it's a season too soon. Al Horford is in Atlanta. Kristaps Porzingis is in Atlanta. They have a nice team. Bryn Forbes, Nick Batum are in Atlanta. Cam Reddish got drafted to Atlanta just like he did in real life. They have a nice team. I think they'll be a playoff team for years to come. The Miami Heat. Now the Miami Heat got Kevin Durant and Chris Middleton in one offseason. If they can convince Bam to stay like they did in real life, if they can convince Bam to stay, they are going to be phenomenal. Because a team of Kobe White, Duncan Robinson, Chris Middleton, Kevin Durant, and Bam Adebayo. Oh, and then they got Luke Kennard, Nemanja Bjelica, PJ Dozier, Ish Smith. They got a solid bench. They got PJ Tucker, just like they did in real life, obviously 2 years prior. This team is insane. Kemba Walker stays in Charlotte. They do sign Mitchell Robinson this offseason. Kemba's going to be a free agent. In real life, he signed with the Knicks after the 2020 season. But now he's going to be... It's going to be interesting to see where he goes. Actually, no, he signed with the Celtics. He signed with the Celtics, not the Knicks. He signed with the Celtics. I'm tripping. I'm getting my years mixed up. The Jazz get Jimmy Butler. They have a big three of Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert, and Donovan Mitchell. That's going to be a good core to watch for years to come, even though Donovan Mitchell's a free agent this offseason. The Kings have a core of De'Aaron Fox, Julius Randle, and a 39-year-old Dirk Nowitzki, who's an 80 overall. They gave him a 1-year MLE, which is cool. The Knicks are still poverty. They didn't get Julius Randle, so their best player is Wendell Carter Jr., who has solid potential in 2K, so we'll see how that pans out. And they drafted Eric Pascal, who has A- potential in 2K. And then the Lakers hold on to their core of LeBron, Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and Kuz. Lonzo and Ingram are slowly progressing. They're not to what they are today, where BI was an all-star and Lonzo is a really good starting caliber point guard, but they're getting there. The Magic held on to Vooch. They still have John Isaac. Oh my God, I'm stuttering. The Mavericks have Luka, Ja Morant. That is going to be a fun backcourt. I think one of these guys are going to have to play the two. It'll probably be Luka, just because Luka's a little bit taller, so he can play the 2 or the 3. Jonas Valanciunas was a good pickup for them. They got Tim Hardaway Jr. Like in real life, they got Montrezl Harrell. They got Kelly Olynyk. Montrezl Harrell, I feel like, should be a little higher overall, just because he didn't start dropping off until he went to the Lakers. So I might fix that. I might not. I think I won't, actually. We got the Nets with Eric Bledsoe and Jared Allen. What an alternate universe where they don't have James Harden, Kai, and KD. The Nuggets, pretty similar to what they are in real life. The Pacers, they got Brogdon in the offseason, just like they did in real life. The Bucks refused to pay him. They paid D'Lo instead, and the Pacers get Brogdon. They also got Kawhi, which I remember a lot in 2K20 this happening, Kawhi going to the Pacers. And then we got our Pelicans with DiVincenzo. Solid core. I think we're a playoff team. I don't think we're a title team. The Pistons are going to be fun. They got 2 centers, 2 starting caliber centers, and then Zion. And then Bruce Brown. So this team is going to be fun just because of Zion and Drummond and Blake. But we will see how that goes. Toronto, Kawhi left them. Their team looks pretty similar like it does today, besides Norman Powell's in Portland. Enes Kanter is on the Celtics, I believe. Serge Ibaka is in the G League. And their team is pretty garbage. The Rockets, this is the alternate universe where James Harden doesn't go to Brooklyn. And Chris Paul doesn't go to Phoenix, and Bobby Portis doesn't go to Milwaukee, and PJ Washington gets drafted by them. Chris Paul, Harden, Bobby Portis, and PJ Washington will be a fun core. The Spurs are pretty bad still. But they still have DeRozan, unlike in real life. They got DeAndre Ayton to re-sign. They paid him in this alternate universe instead of refusing to pay him and then paying Mikal Bridges, which they also paid Mikal Bridges. So that's a W because they don't have to pay Chris Paul, so they can pay him both. OKC, Paul George stays in Oklahoma City instead of getting traded to the Clippers. Steven Adams stays in Oklahoma City, so that's a nice big 3. They still have Schroeder. They drafted Brandon Clark. This is a fun team. The Timberwolves signed Victor Oladipo, drafted Rui Hachimura and RJ Barrett. They still have Kat and D Rose. Going to be a fun team. The Blazers are pretty similar to how they are in real life. The Warriors are the Warriors. They drafted Bol, so that'll be interesting to see. And then the Wizards still have Bradley Beal and John Wall. They got Alex Caruso too, so that's pretty cool. I'm going to sim Season 2. See you guys at the All-Star break. So the All-Star captains for the 2019-2020 season is Nikola Jokic and Kevin Durant. AD is once again a solo All-Star on this team. Bradley Beal is a 5-time All-Star. Ben Simmons is an All-Star. Drummond is an All-Star once again. He stays in Detroit and is that number 1 guy on his team still, so he's still getting those 20 and 20 games. Luka's an All-Star. A lot of similar All-Stars as in real life. Kyrie in Boston. You love to see him still being an All-Star in that conversation. Alright, so Jokic wins MVP 1 year premature. Zion wins Rookie of the Year. Ja won it in real life. Dennis Schroeder, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis DPOY, which he did win in real life this year. He won MVP and DPOY in the same year. Anthony Simons, Most Improved. Ime Udoka, back-to-back Coach of the Years. I want to look at player stats. I realized I forgot to see player stats in the first season. Anthony Davis, where are his Where are his career stats? For last season, he averaged 22 and 8. This season, he stepped it up to 26-9, 2 steals, 2.5 blocks on 53, 33, 70. Not great splits besides his field goal percentage, which is absolutely gorgeous. Christian Wood slowly progressing into that starting center role. Hold on, come back. Christian Wood, 15 and 9, almost 10. Bojan Bogdanovic, third top scorer with 14. Jrue Holiday slowly but surely regressing. He's averaging 11, and then DiVincenzo with 11 as well. This team is solid. We're the 5th seed in the playoffs. We made it out of that play-in race, which is dope. We faced Luka and Ja in the first round. I want to see how good Ja actually is. They have Ja playing the 2 at an 80 overall, and their starting 5 is pretty bad outside of Luka. So I'm hoping we can take care of business in this first round. We win in 7. Now we face the big 3 Utah Jazz, led by Donovan Mitchell, Jimmy Butler, and Rudy Gobert. Outside of those 3, they're pretty average. Hold on, bro. I just realized something. On the Eastern Conference side, where in the blue fuck are the Miami Heat? You know, the team with Kevin Durant, Chris Middleton, and Bam Adebayo? Where are the Heat? They're not even a play-in team. They went 38 and 44. Hold on, why is Bam not playing? Bam must be injured. Oh, Bam got injured. That's tough. Bam got hurt, so they didn't make the playoffs. They have a really good team, and they're not starting Kobe White. They're starting Shaq Harrison. I don't know what they're doing. Anyway, we're going to lose in this round because that Jazz team is cracked. Oh my God, we beat the Jazz in 6. Now we face the Nuggets with the reigning MVP Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray. Now, I think we'll lose this series, but we beat the Jazz. So, we beat the Jazz. In theory, we beat the Nuggets. We win the first game. We lose the second. We win the third. We win the fourth. And we're in the NBA Finals. Anthony Davis makes his first NBA Finals. Literally, this is the same season he went to the Finals, just on the Lakers. Maybe he should have stayed in New Orleans. But now, we face our second big 3. Jaylen Brown, Kyrie Irving, and Jason Tatum. This team is a lot better than the Jazz, though, because they also have Terry Rozier still. Terry Rozier decided to stay there instead of going to Charlotte. I switched teams on accident. Robert Williams, Gordon Hayward, Marcus Smart. This team is 12-1 so far. I think we're going to get mopped. I think we're going to get swept. We're going to get swept. Oh, we win 1. We're going to lose in 4. We lose in 4. Jason Tatum, the Finals MVP, but AD made an NBA Finals appearance. So now the argument I personally use, AD only making the playoffs 2 out of 7 seasons in his years in New Orleans, can't be an argument anymore because he made the NBA Finals and went through a super team in the Utah Jazz. So that argument's out the window. We're going to simulate 1 to 2 more seasons just to see what more changes. Player retirements. Dirk calls it a career. Lou Will retires. LaMarcus Aldridge retires. Wesley Matthews retires. And Dwight Howard retires. Jared Dudley, Paul Millsap, Aaron Baines. Bunch of NBA legend. Hall of Fame inductees. Dwight Howard's the only one out of those. Hall of Fame inductees. They don't have Dirk as a Hall of Famer. Why? I don't know, bro. They don't have Dirk as a Hall of Famer. That is blasphemous. But they have Dwight Howard as a Hall of Famer. We're going to simulate 2 draft lottery. This is the Lamello Ball draft. So we got the draft lottery for Lamello Ball. The Pelicans are the 7th. And the Rockets win. Hopefully they draft Lamello Ball. Hopefully they win the Lamello Ball sweepstakes. NBA draft time. First pick of the 2020 NBA draft. The Houston Rockets select Lamello Ball. With the second pick, there's James Wiseman. I'm forgetting who's in this draft class already. I think the Spurs are going to take Wiseman. Anthony Edwards. Ant-Man's in this draft class. The Spurs get themselves a generational talent in Anthony Edwards. The Kings should take Wiseman. They do. I forget who else is in this draft class. Reese Halliburton goes to the Magic to play with John Isaac and Vucevic. The Wizards take Obi Toppin. Goes to play with John Wall and Bradley Beal. The Knicks take Josh Green. The Magic, that is a Knicks pick, bro. The Magic take auto-generated guy. The Blazers take Isaiah Stewart. They take Beef Stew, the man who just started scrapping with LeBron and tried scrapping with Giannis and Blake Griffin. Now it's our pick. 9th pick in the NBA draft. We take Isaac Okoro. That's a W pick. That is a W pick. Love that for us. So Kira Lewis Jr. goes to the Suns. Onyeka Okongwu, forgot he was in this draft class, goes to the Nets. Vernon Carey goes to the Cavs. Killian Hayes goes to the Grizzlies. Denny Avdia goes to the Rockets. Emmanuel Quickley goes to the Pacers. Precious Achua, I love Precious, goes to the Thunder. Tyler Bay goes to the Warriors. Patrick Williams, instead of going to the Bulls, drafted in the lottery, out of the lottery, 22nd pick, goes to the Timberwolves. Xavier Tillman to the Lakers. Sadiq Bey to the Clips. Devin Vassell goes to the Sixers. Jaden McDaniels to the Jazz. And then Theo Maledon to the Celtics. Okay, so free agency time again. This Giannis did not sign in the winter. So this is post-bubble season. No, this is, yeah, post-bubble season. So Giannis, I'm thinking about it. Giannis wouldn't be a free agent in this offseason. He would be a free agent in the next offseason. So I messed that up. LeBron, there's a lot of free agents. I'm not sure if all these guys are free agents or were in real life, but we're going to go with the flow here and hope stuff stays pretty realistic. Hope so. We're hoping so. Cross our fingers. I'm going to wait for all the big names to go off the board. There's still a few more big names, aka Kemba. Kemba, sign somewhere, bro. You got 8 offers. Sign somewhere, Kemba. Kemba. Just go to the Raptors, bro. Just go to the Raptors, Kemba. This man, Kemba, is not trying to go anywhere. Kemba. Just sign somewhere, Kemba. Okay, sign players. Giannis goes to the Lakers to play with LeBron. He leaves the Bucks. So instead of LeBron getting Anthony Davis, he gets the best power forward in the league, Giannis. So instead of getting the second best power forward, he gets the best power forward. Jokic goes to the Rockets. Tatum goes to the Nuggets to replace Jokic. Chris Paul to the Cavs to play with Sexton. Jaylen Brown. 2K. Jaylen Brown, LeBron, and Giannis on the Lakers. What the fuck? Bam goes to the Bucks to replace Giannis. The Grizzlies re-sign Jaren Jackson. Donovan Mitchell leaves the Jazz to go play for the Grizzlies. Brandon Ingram goes to the Hornets. Lonzo goes to the Hornets. So instead of them both going to New Orleans, they both go to the Hornets. Karis LeVert to the Nets. Van Vliet to the Rockets. Dylan Brooks to the Bulls. Jordan Clarkson stays in Cleveland. Ivica Zubac stays with the Clippers. Wiggins stays with the Grizzlies. We retain Christian Wood. Bobby Portis goes to the Rockets. I feel like I would be better seeing who goes where if I skip free agency and then just go look at the rosters. So I'm going to load in the 2021 draft class, and then we are going to look at the rosters. Okay, so I'm going to look at the rosters. This is going to be the last season of the simulation because this video is, I'll do 2 more seasons. We'll simulate 2 past current day into 1 season from now. So we'll go to the 2022 season. The Pelicans look pretty solid. DiVincenzo's progressed into that second option guy next to Anthony Davis. Jrue Holiday, Christian Wood, pretty similar to how it was last season. Front office not doing too much, just like they did in real life. The Pistons, Zion might not mold into that top guy. He has B potential. Drummond continues to improve. This is going to be a weird alternate universe. Pascal Siakam. Kyle Lowry's regressing for the Raptors. Pascal Siakam, he has A+ potential, but he's staying in 85 overall. The Rockets, they get Lamello. They get PJ Washington, Fred VanVleet, Bobby Portis, Nas Little, Denny Avdia. They get they still have James Harden, and they get the reigning MVP, Nikola Jokic. James Harden wants that ring so bad. The Spurs, they drafted Ant-Man. They drafted Daniel Gafford. They have Derek White still, DeJounte Murray, DeMar DeRozan. The Suns get Hassan Whiteside. Mikal Bridges is injured. They still have their pretty usual team, DeAndre Ayton and Book. The Thunder, still pretty similar. Paul George is regressing, though. Russ is starting to regress. Brandon Clark hasn't improved much at all. He only has C+ potential. This team is starting to blunder. The Timberwolves, slowly getting better. Cat's still that guy. Rui Hachimura slowly developing. Jeremy Grant's developing. RJ Barrett doesn't look like he's going to develop much. Patrick Williams, the same boat. The Blazers, pretty similar. They got Beef Stew. Solid team. The Warriors got, who did they draft? Tyler Bay. They got Bol. They still got Draymond, Steph Clay. They got Kelly Oubre. The Wizards, Bradley Beal, John Wall. The Sixers, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Tobias Harris. The Bucks, they're still really good. Bam, D'Angelo Russell, Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine's out for 2 to 4 months, but that's still a good big 3. The Bulls, still in poverty. The Cavs got Chris Paul. Can he will them to the playoffs? We will see. The Celtics lost I forgot they lost Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So the reigning champions have been dismantled and Kyrie's on his own. Shai Gilgeous still progressing. The Clippers could be good soon. They still have Shai and Marvin Bagley. The Grizzlies, Donovan Mitchell, Clint Capella, and Jaren Jackson. That's a fun team. The Hawks, they got Kemba. So Kemba went to the Hawks. He decided to play a backup point guard role behind Trae Young. That's interesting. The Heat, is Bam still injured? Bam left. How did I not see where Bam went? Okay, so they still have a core of KD, Middleton, Duncan Robinson, and Kobe White. But Bam left. The Hornets have Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, Mitchell Robinson. And that's about it. The Jazz, Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert. The Kings, still pretty similar, but they got James Wiseman and DeAndre Hunter. The Knicks are still the same. They're in poverty. The Lakers, Giannis, LeBron, and Jaylen Brown. I'm salty seeing Giannis go to the Lakers because this is all that happened on 2K20 and 2K21 was in Giannis' free agency year. He went to the Lakers or the Heat. That's tough. The Magic get Tyrese Halliburton. I'm trying to find where Bam went. Eric Bledsoe goes to Brooklyn. Jason Tatum went to Denver. That's where Jason Tatum went. Where did Bam go? How have I not seen Bam? There's no way Bam's... Hold on. We're going to find Bam. Okay, so Bam plays for the Bucks. How did I not know Bam plays for the Bucks? I don't know. I'm going to sim the 2020-2021 season. Or no, this is the... 2020-2021 season. We're going to sim it. In this season, the Bucks win the championship. Jokic MVP. We'll go over that when we get there. Let's start simming. Luka Doncic wins his first MVP of his career. James Wiseman, Rookie of the Year instead of Lamello. Blake Griffin, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis, DPOY in LA. I hate seeing that. Him in the Lakers uniform. DeAndre Ayton, MIP. He's shooting threes. 29% from 3. That's tough. That's tough. So the Pelicans are the 5 seed for the second straight season. I'm going to look at stats. Player stats. Anthony Davis, 23 points per game. He's improved one. Jrue Holiday. He's regressed 2 attributes, 10 points per game. DiVincenzo, pretty similar to how he was last year. Frank Jackson's taking a leap into that double-digit scoring. Hamidou Diallo, 14 points per game. Love to see that. And then Christian Wood, 14 points per game. Love to see that as well. I want to see AD splits. 54% from the field. League average from 3, which is nice, 35%. And then 75% from the charity stripe. First round, we got the Clippers, led by a 90 overall Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Actually, simulate the play-in. The Kings make it out and play the Nuggets. We should be able to beat the Clippers. And we do in 6. We face the Denver Nuggets in second round, led by Jason Tatum at a 97 overall. And then Jamal Murray. I think we might lose to the Nuggets in this one. We beat them in 5. Okay, we're always beating crazy teams. We have the Mavs now with John Morant on the bench. Luka Doncic starting at point guard. Anthony Davis goes to back-to-back NBA Finals. AD's making leaps. AD as the number 1 option. The big gripe, at least my big gripe with AD, is that he's never proved he can do it as the number 1 option on a team. Back-to-back NBA Finals appearances. That's him doing it as the number 1 guy on a team. Now, we face the Pacers, who are tough. Brogdon, Matisse Thybulle, Kawhi Leonard, Sabonis, and Miles Turner. It seems like Anthony Davis's luck in the NBA Finals has been absolutely atrocious, because in the first season we played the super team Celtics with Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, and Kyrie. Now we face the Pacers and lose in 5, and Domantas Sabonis Finals MVP over Kawhi. That is hilarious. AD now 0-2 in the NBA Finals. That is tough luck for Anthony Davis. Player retirements. Melo calls it a career in OKC, never makes it to LA. Goran Dragic retires in Utah. Danny Green, we had Danny Green on the team apparently. James Johnson retires. George Hill and Rudy Gay call it careers, and so does Taj Gibson. We're going to look at the draft lottery. This is the last season's draft. So this is Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, the Rockets. Second, I believe this is their second straight number 1 overall pick. If they get, I think they should take Jalen Green. Jalen Green over Cade Cunningham. The first pick, the Rockets take Cade Cunningham. Okay, the Rockets take Cade. I don't know who I'd take if I'm the Blazers. I didn't know who I would take if I was the Rockets either, because their top 2 players, I believe, are James Harden and Lamello Ball. They might have another guy. I forgot who's on the Rockets team. The Blazers, I think they take Evan Mobley. That is a great pickup for a core of Dame and CJ. I love that pickup. The same thing for the Warriors is going to be weird. They take Scotty Barnes. I forgot how stacked this draft class is. Scotty Barnes to the Warriors is a great pickup. He's literally that Draymond Green mold, except better. Not right now, he's not better, but he can be better. The Suns are in the same boat. Are there more forwards? They take Jalen Green. They don't have CP. That's a good pickup. Jalen Green to the Suns is a good pickup. Jalen Suggs to the T-Wolves. He goes 5. I believe he went 5 to the Magic in real life. Josh Giddey to the Kings at 6. The Bulls at 7. They trade their pick. The Bulls trade the number 7th overall pick to the Knicks for Kevin Huerter and Tyus Jones. What are the Bulls doing? Okay, the Knicks fumbled the pick. The Knicks love fumbling picks. The Cavs fumbled a pick too. Auto-generated guys are trash. The Spurs trade their pick for Derrick Rose and Landry Shamet to the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves take Jonathan Kuminga. That's a great pick. And then the final pick I'm going to go over is the Jazz. They take Franz Wagner. Other notable picks, Davion Mitchell to the Raptors, Usman Garuba to the Pelicans, Keon Johnson to the Knicks, James Bouknight to the Thunder, Trey Mann to the Grizzlies. Who else is there? Zaire Williams to the Thunder. The Thunder had a lot of picks in this draft. Kai Jones to the Thunder as well. Chris Duarte to the Pacers, just like real life. Okay, now we got another free agency. We love free agency in these sims. Luka's a free agent. I thought he was going to be restricted, but he's not. Damian Lillard's a free agent. Devin Booker's a free agent. Harden's a free agent. Okay, this is going to be big. This is a big free agency. I'm gonna just slowly skip through the free agency. We got some guys off the board already. Oh my God, I don't know if y'all saw that. I don't know if you guys just saw that. Yo. That is a W pickup. The Pelicans showing AD some love. They were like, AD, you made the finals 2 years in a row. We're gonna get you some help. Wow. W pickup. Okay, the Spurs land Luka. The Wizards get Damian Lillard, so it's gonna be Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal. Devin Booker to the Hawks to play with Trey. James Harden re-signs in Houston. Cat goes to the Nuggets to play with Tatum. Sabonis, off his finals MVP season, stays in Indiana. Klay Thompson comes to play with Anthony Davis and DiVincenzo in New Orleans. Tobias Harris stays in Philly. Drummond stays in Detroit. DeJounte Murray goes to Detroit. They're slowly building the team there. Pascal Siakam to the Suns. Now they have a core of Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Pascal Siakam, and Jalen Green. That is nuts. Wendell to the Knicks. CJ McCollum to the Timberwolves. So Dame and CJ were like, you know what, bro? We're done in Portland. We're done here. Blake Griffin to the Mavs. OG to the Warriors. DiVincenzo to the Warriors. I thought we had a core of DiVincenzo, Clay, and AD. DiVincenzo pieced out. Miles Bridges to the Bulls. TJ Warren to the Cavs. Gordon Hayward resigns in Boston instead of going to Charlotte. DeMar DeRozan stays in with the Spurs. Larry Nance to the Bucks. Anthony Simons to the Hornets. All right, bro. So this is going to be the last season I'm going to simulate. 2021-2022 season. This is the current day season. And there's a core of Anthony Davis, Klay Thompson, Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood. Jrue Holiday is 76 overall. That is a weird alternate universe. This in real life, Jrue Holiday's coming off of his NBA championship. The Pistons have DeJounte Murray, Drummond, Zion, Portis. Actually, not a bad team, but not a playoff team. The Raptors, Jakob Poeltl is their best player. What? The Rockets got better this offseason. They have Jokic. I forgot they had Jokic. Jokic, Harden, PJ Washington, Lamello Ball, Fred VanVleet, Cade Cunningham. It baffles me how you have a core of Harden, Jokic, LaMelo Ball, and PJ Washington, and you get the number 1 pick in the draft, and you get another possible star. The Spurs get Luka, so Luka's going. He's like, you know what? I'm done here in Dallas. The Suns look promising with DeAndre Ayton, Pascal Siakam, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Green. Oh, they lost D Book. I forgot they lost D Book, so they don't have they don't have that core. So Jalen Green has big shoes to fill in Devin Booker. Paul George regresses to an 81. Russell Westbrook down to an 86. The Thunder really haven't done much besides draft a bunch of players. They got Precious. They got Brandon Clark. They got James Bouknight. They have a lot of young players at this point. The Timberwolves, led by CJ McCollum and Steven Adams. The RJ Barrett rotting away. So is Patrick Williams, and Jalen Suggs will probably do the same. The Blazers lost Damon CJ, but they draft Evan Mobley. I probably would have drafted Jalen Green if I knew they lost CJ and Dame. They probably were banking on keeping them. So the Warriors lose Clay, but they get DiVincenzo. Still got Steph. They get OG. They still have Bo Bull, who's slowly progressing. They drafted Scotty Barnes, who was a W pickup. They still got Alex Caruso, Draymond Green. The Wizards, they still have John Wall. They have a core of Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, Thomas Bryant, Obi Toppin, John Wall, and Sekou. The Sixers, Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris. They're rocking out with that core. This duo is solid. This is if Ben Simmons wasn't having this whole fiasco of him wanting to leave and such. Him and Joel Embiid are blossoming. The Bucks, Zach LaVine, Bam Adebayo, D'Angelo Russell, still a solid core, not great, but decent. The Bulls, in poverty still. Lauri Markkanen slowly becoming the number one option on the Bulls. Chris Paul's injured for 2 to 4 weeks, but they got a core of Colin Sexton and Chris Paul. The Celtics, Kyrie, Scary Terry, and Gordon Hayward. The Clippers were a solid playoff team with Shai Gilgeous and Marvin Bagley. The Grizzlies, Jaren Jackson, Clint Capella, Donovan Mitchell, and Tyler Hero becoming that sixth man like he is in real life, who is a sixth man of the year candidate. The Hawks. There always has to be a super team, bro. I have a feeling we're going to match up against the Hawks in the finals and lose. Trae Young, Devin Booker, John Collins, Porzingis, and Bogdanovich and Cam Reddish. The Heat still have Middleton and Durant. They're just vibing out in Miami. The Hornets, Zoe and Brandon Ingram becoming that 1 and 2 option, vibing together with Mitchell Robinson. The Jazz have Jimmy Butler, Rudy Gobert, and Kemba Walker. And they drafted Franz Wagner. That's a decent big three. I don't know if I consider Kemba part of the big three, but that's a good duo with Jimmy and Rudy Gobert, even though they've been vibing since the start of the sim. The Kings have been pretty much the same the whole sim. They haven't done much. Julius Randle, De'Aaron Fox, James Wiseman. The Knicks have been pretty much the same with Wendell and Eric Pascal, but they're both slowly progressing. The Lakers somehow didn't make the finals with Giannis, LeBron, and Jaylen Brown. LeBron, 37 years old now. Orlando Magic, still with Vooch, Tyrese Halliburton, John Isaac, Markelle Fultz. The Mavericks give the keys to the castle to John Morant. They give him Blake Griffin. They give him Oladipo. Not horrendous, but not a playoff team in my opinion since Luka left. Brooklyn Nets, Jared Allen, Dinwiddie, and Karis LeVert with Eric Bledsoe. Pretty much what they would be if they didn't trade for Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant. They didn't actually trade for Kevin Durant and Kyrie. I'm tripping. But if they didn't trade for Harden, on the Nuggets, Jason Tatum, Kat, and Jamal Murray. That's a crazy big three. That's a crazy big three. They're all really young too, so they're gonna dominate this league. The Pacers, you know the deal. Kawhi, Sabonis, Brogdon, Miles Turner, Matisse Thybulle. The Pelicans got better. I don't know if we're gonna make our third finals appearance in 3 years, but Anthony Davis, Clay, Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood. The Pistons, you know the deal with them. Okay, we're back at the start. We're going to sim the 2021-2022 season. Fingers crossed, Anthony Davis wins a ring. Probably not. We're going to flip. We're going to cross our fingers. I never thought I'd see the day. Andre Drummond in the final season wins MVP. Averaging 19, 13, 5, 2 steals and 2 blocks. 60% from the field and 58% from the line. Jalen Suggs, Rookie of the Year. 17 points per game. 42, 34, 77 splits. Markelle Fultz, 6th Man of the Year. Giannis, another DPOY. Killian Hayes, MIP. How good are the Pistons, bro? Dwayne Casey, Coach of the Year, 55 and 27. How good are the fucking Pistons, bro? How good are the Pistons? They're the 1 seed in the East. The Rockets are finally living up to their potential at 53 and 30 at the 1 seed in the West. We are in the play-in. We face the Jokic and Harden and Lamello Ball and PJ Washington and Cade Cunningham Houston Rockets. That's it. That's wraps. First round exit AD. First round exit AD. What a way to end the video. What a way to end it. Who's going to win the finals? It is the Orlando Magic led by Nikola Vucevic. We've seen everything in this video from Drummond MVPs to Vucevic finals MVPs. That's it. That's it. If AD never left New Orleans, would he have won a ring? No. No, he would not have. According to 2K, he would not have. Even if they get Klay Thompson, they don't win a ring. If you enjoyed, If you have any requests for what you want to see me do in this type of connotation, let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed, make sure you show some love. If you didn't, tell me what I can do better in the comments. You're beautiful. I love you. Peace.